All right. So good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys might be located. I'm seeing a few people show up in the chat and letting us know where you happen to be calling in from. Welcome. My name is Jeff Bennett. I am a senior technical specialist here at Microsoft, and today we'll be acting as your MC. Um, this session is already being recorded, so if you don't feel like being part of the recording, that's perfectly fine. A link to the recording and the presentation will be available along with some of the links to some learning material sometime tomorrow. Well, today's session is somewhat unique. It happens to be a special edition of the Power Platform Collaboratorium. What makes it special, you might ask? Well, for one, the recent announcement of Copilot within areas of the Power Platform has really generated a lot of buzz, and we want to make sure that we address what we can while things are still top of mind. And two, this isn't our only session in May, and I'll provide a little bit more details on that in a bit. So for the next hour or so, we're going to talk about generative AI within Microsoft Business Applications, and specifically within Power Virtual Agents. We're going to take a look at how you can inject GPT reasoning into creating a conversational chatbot, and how all this can be done at a very rapid pace with very low risk for your organization. Joining me today is a peer of mine, Nico Sperati. Nico specializes in Microsoft's low-code platform, but brings a very unique perspective with a background in ERP and manufacturing solutions. Also with us, monitoring the chat, is the remainder of our quite incredible Power Platform TS team, Andrew, Chris, Daniel, David, John, and Remy. And all of us under the terrific leadership of Robert Pindar. I want to introduce them all by name, not only because they are pivotal in the success of these educational sessions, but also because they can address any immediate questions that you guys might have during today's session that can be submitted and answered in the chat. I've reserved a little bit of time at the end of today's session for any additional Q&A as well, so we can go a little bit deeper into some conversation if we have time. Also, we'll be posting a poll towards the end of today's presentation. Just remember that the content that we select for these sessions is really driven by what you guys want to see. So let us know what you're most interested in, or how you might be using these tools or something similar today. And lastly, 2 weeks from tomorrow, on the 25th, we're going to have our regularly scheduled May session of the Collaboratorium. We'll get the registration posted here in just a moment in the chat. So feel free to register for that session as well. I am happy to say that the session itself might get a little bit technical. The plan is to explore the Power Apps Control Framework and what it takes to create and publish PCF controls within your environment. So please register. I hope to see every single one of you there and more. Okay, so enough said from my end. Let's get started. Nico, my man, it's all on you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Hello, everyone. So today we're going to talk about how to inject generative AI in your business application. And in fact, there is a particular use case that nowadays we hear about every day, is how can I chat with my business data? So to do that, we're going to spend the first 20 minutes going over the concept of the tool that we will be using. And after that, we'll log into the application and build the bot all together. With that, let's get started. Perfect. We good, Jeff, on the screen sharing?
Yep, looks great.
Perfect. So the main solution we will be using today is Microsoft Power Platform. So when you think about it, Power Platform is a low floor, high ceiling type of software. It is easy for beginner to start and build a little grass clip of application to automate the emails. But also enterprise can build a beautiful flower on top of an aging ERP. But last but not least, it is high ceiling. We can build a fully enterprise grade application like this beautiful crystal chandelier. Example. Here is Dynamics 365 CRM. It is like the most famous Power App of all. Right here, I'm an opportunity record. So on the top, I can see the opportunity stages within the opportunity lifecycle. Right here, I can see the direct information attached to the opportunity, like the budget and the customer timeline to buy the product. But then comes AI, right? So right here, leveraging the data in the back plus much more, AI is able to recommend me as a seller what should be the next step I should take on that opportunity. Doesn't mean I have to do that, but at least it's kind of helping me out. Right there, AI is coming up with an opportunity score. What is the likelihood this opportunity is going to close in this quarter? Helpful for me, but also helpful for my management. And then last but not least come collaboration. So in this case, my opportunity is about to close. I'm selling coffee machine. And I know that my warehouse is running low on inventory for coffee machine. So I decide to ping Mary, the warehouse manager. So typically what I have to do is I go to Teams, hey, send a kind note to Mary, can I schedule a meeting? And then go back to my opportunity and keep working. But right there in my Power App, by clicking just on the messages, I'm bringing Teams within the Power App. So what is key here, right? First, it saves me time, right? I stay in the flow. I'm staying in my opportunity while I'm pinging Mary. Second, when later I open Teams on desktop or mobile, my chat with Mary will be right there. And last, all message history between Mary and me stay attached at the opportunity level. Think of it, it's almost like collaboration at its finest within the organization. At Microsoft, this is what we call swarming. Now, remember, this is our crystal chandelier Power App here, right? So today, Dynamics 365 CRM is deployed across 500,000 customers in over 60 countries and 40 languages. Point being, Power Platform can and will scale whatever the business process may be. What are the key modules we're going to find in Power Platform? First is Power App. So think of it, whatever business process we may want to re-engineer in the organization, it always starts with the people at the center. It starts with the user experience. And Power App just do that. It helps you build in no time web application for the enterprise. The true value of Power App is being able to connect to enterprise silo system and render a seamless, intuitive, and even playful user experience. So as an example, we all have IT system in our organization. Like, for the same business process, we need to have to log in and jump over 2, 3, and even sometime 4 different applications. At Microsoft, my HR record is split between SAP and our own D365 ERP. So it used to be that I have to enter my expenses, I go to D365. Then when I have to enter my internal training, it is happening in SAP. So what we've done, we've built a nice enterprise Power App on top of D365 and SAP. So now all of us, Microsoft employees, are happy with a super cool, productive app, while the IT team can work on a longer time frame to sunset that pardon my French, aging backend SAP system. Then come Power Pages. Power Pages is also user experience, but it's for external to the organization. It's like the Wix.com for enterprise. So you can spin up an almost pixel perfect enterprise grade website. But the key value prop of Power Pages is it is a portal. It is a company portal. It allows you to expose safely and securely whatever business data you may want to share with external business partner. Example, I want to offer my customer visibility to their purchase order status and pay invoices through a portal with a login. Power Pages allow you to do just that in a secure way, all that backed up by the Azure stack. To finish on the user experience, here is Power Virtual Agent. So from a user experience perspective, it is essentially being able to chat with enterprise data. Power Virtual Agent is like the chat orchestration. And then from there, I can deploy it wherever I want. So I obviously can go in Teams, but I could go in a Power app, or I could go to an external facing website, or even a different particular mobile app. So we'll spend most of our time in Power Virtual Agent today. Then comes Power Automate. So think of Power Automate as the Zapier of enterprise. If something happened in that system, then do that in another system. Example, document processing, and namely invoice reconciliation. So it is very frequent for suppliers to send a PDF or scan invoice over emails. Then in the organization, I have someone open the email, open the PDF, read the PDF, kill that whole invoice in the ERP to process for invoice reconciliation. It is pure clerkwork. So Power Automate combined with AI Builder lets you automate all that in a matter of days. And then last is our Power BI reporting engine. So within Power BI, essentially, you can crack up about any reports or tile to be embedded and enhance your user experience, may it be an app, a website, or a chatbot. Power Platform is part of our Azure cloud and is built on the Azure stack. Think of it, it's kind of like the low-code window of the Azure stack. Again, should I want to push the envelope in a more professional development fashion in a particular area? I can. Last but not least, we are strategically partnering with OpenAI. We are infusing AI, we're infusing generative AI in all of our Microsoft solutions. Now I'm bringing OpenAI. So let me address the elephant in the room. In other words, with Microsoft, your data is your data. What I mean by that is when you think about it, when you want to engage with OpenAI, you essentially have two options from an enterprise standpoint. Either you go with OpenAI or you go with OpenAI on Azure or Azure OpenAI. Same functionality, same API. Is the way you engage and the way your data are treated is different. And in particular, when you engage with Azure OpenAI, we are SOC 2 compliance. We will not make use of your prompt to teach future GPT models. Here are the top OpenAI use case that we see nowadays. You have from content generation, summarization, code generation, and semantic search. So today for our bot, we're mainly focusing on that use case. Now, I'll say that we are many of us at Microsoft to believe that these are the main use cases, but there are plenty more to be uncovered. Now, when you think about those models, right? They have knowledge, but the true value prop of those models reside in the reasoning engine, right? So we can extract some knowledge, but the key is the value prop is in the reasoning engine. The thing is, they can make mistake. Example, they are frozen in time. They have no notion of the time passing. So when you deploy such generative AI in your enterprise, the context of your use case, the instruction, the orchestration of the dialogue, and even the prompting are as key as the model itself. So, and at Microsoft, this is what we call grounding. Let's take a simple example. So here is Bing Chat. Its purpose is to help you search the data over the web. So as you can see, I am connected with my Microsoft account right there. But Microsoft in the sense of the company I work for. I'm being served 0 ad. And then when I in chat and interact with Bing, Microsoft to an extent would not use my prompt to teach future Bing, right? If I would have connect with my personal Gmail account, I would have had ads, and the data privacy will obviously be different. So let's ask a question. Give me 3 good news from the weekend. So great. Yeah, 3 good news from the weekend. A 12 years old from New York City won the 2023 National Speed Belly on Saturday. The US and China have agreed to work together to combat climate change. Great. And a new study has found that people who drink coffee regularly may have a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. That's a good one for me. Right. The key here, what we are doing is, well, first of all, remember, it has no time, right? It doesn't understand time. So the silliness of the question, we ask the news from last weekend. So what we're doing is first we're searching and then we're generating the answer. Essentially, we are first grounding Bing by leveraging the Bing search API. Like you and I will search on Bing. It is essentially the same process. From there, we pick up the couple of key good news that we found on Bing search and then feed that in a GPT model for reasoning. And in that particular use case here, this is summarization. So I say that again. I said it, but I'm going to say it again. Grounding is as important as the large language model itself. Or like the old AI proverb may say, the longest is the last mile. And Power Platform is the tool to help you do that. Is the tool to help you deploy generative AI at a fast pace and low risk for your organization. With that, let's delve into conversational AI with Power Virtual Agent. When you think about the evolution of bot building and conversational AI. So in the past, bot building was an exclusive domain, per se, for special vendors and data scientists. Like you would have literally software vendors will build bot solution and then sell them to organization. So the problem was not all bots were built for the specific business process they were trying to address. Like problem with change management right there. But more than anything, from a timeline perspective, we were talking about years of development. Then we saw a first shift in bot building. Companies started to build bot in-house. So at this point we are, or I should say, we were talking months of development. Until recently, building TOSBot has shifted from professional developer to empowering everyone. And then while it used to take years, months building bots, today it takes days. And I would say even hours or even minutes. In fact, we saw it at Microsoft, right? If you want to build a bot today with the Microsoft stacks, you essentially have 2 options. You can go leverage our Power Virtual Agent low-code solution, or you can go the pro-code route with Azure Bot Service and Bot Framework Composer, and essentially like the LUIS orchestration framework. So what we've done, and very happy, very, very happy to announce the Microsoft Unify Kansas. Essentially, we've rebuilt the thing from the ground up, right? We are bringing the Power full capabilities of the bot framework composer to our low-code platform. So today, Power Virtual Agent is now truly low floor, high ceiling type solution. How does dialogue management works? Or should I say, how should I ground my chatbot, right? So when someone engages with the bot, think of it as 4 stages of engagement. First is the what we call author topic. It is, and it should be a super focused intent. Example, I'm a user, I'm logging. How many loyalty points do I have in my account? Right? Second, if the bot doesn't detect stage 1, if the bot doesn't detect another topic, he's going to look for FAQ, scripted response. So think of it as stage 2 still being focused, but not as much as stage 1. Example, why there is no car to rent in the Charleston airport. And then the third stage is where we are bringing generative AI and pinging OpenAI in the backend. So we have 2 options for that. The first one is conversation booster. In other words, we point Power Virtual Agent to a website or even a SharePoint, and GPT is able to summarize the content and answer the question from there. Our second option is to build it ourselves, right? To directly from Power Virtual Agent, ping OpenAI, and do all the magic with the prompting. Now, you can go both ways, but I'll bring a warning here, especially on that last point. So there are a lot of great GPT features already in Power Virtual Agent available today, and there are plenty more coming. So why I'm saying that is because you are welcome to build it on your own, but there is a good chance that it actually may cost you more time and at the end, more money. And last but not least, if no topics are triggered on stage 1, 2, or 3, or let's say the user is asking to talk to a human, then we hand off and we pass it out to a live agent. So you remember being, grounding, reasoning? This is the same, right? We are grounding by doing stage 1, 2, 3. We are grounding the chat. And right here, we are leveraging the reasoning capability of GPT. So like I said, there are many features going on today and coming. I'm not going to cover them all, but there is one key I think we should spend a couple of times on it, some times on it. It's adaptive card. If you played with ChatGPT and ChatGPT plugin, it is essentially ChatGPT plugin for enterprise business application. You can take a snippet of your data you need for a particular business process and literally embed a mini app in the topic. You can even include actions for the user to take against the ERP or the CRM. Example, after querying GPT with a particular purchase order in the ERP, I want to offer the user to approve the PO, to approve the purchase order. So I can expose just that data, just the data that the user needs to make a decision, and she or he can take an action from there. Now, should we want the user, or should the user wants to look at the purchase order in more detail, in a more traditional fashion, then we'll provide the link to the traditional ERP where she can click and can go look at the purchase orders in more details. Sometimes people refer as adaptive card as conversational app. So when you think conversation with your ERP or your CRM, these features of adaptive cards is a key component. For my last slide, before we build the bot, let me introduce you to my assistant today. Voila, Microsoft D365 Copilot. So as we are building the bot together, we will have at our disposal a chat window that can essentially code with us. The Copilot experience that you're going to see today in Power Virtual Agent is actually being released through all of our Microsoft solution. Think of Excel, PowerPoint, and even dynamic CRM and ERP solutions. I'll say that, right? It is impressive even for us at Microsoft, but it is also definitely helpful. Now, the concept of Copilot is not new for Microsoft. In fact, GitHub Copilot has been released about almost a year and a half ago to help developers to be more productive when coding. And it has been a terrific success in the developer community. In fact, today, over 40% of source code committed on GitHub has been generated by AI. I mean, that speaks for itself, right? So, yeah. One last thing on Copilot, I think it's important, is we call it Copilot and not a pilot for a reason. Because it is not flying the plane, right? It can make mistakes. So the user is always in charge. The user is the one flying the plane. Okay, let's go build our bot. So for today's bot, we are going to travel. We are going to rent a car. We've picked up Hertz.com public website. Granted, we could have picked up Avis or Budget or you name it. But it's an experience that I feel like everyone can relate to. So when we look at our rental website today, as a customer, my happy path is, okay, I know where I want to pick up the car, I know when, and I know for how long, right? But sometimes I don't know the type of car I want. I may be there to just get a quote or maybe see if there is any promotion going on. Or maybe I just had an accident with my car and I need help, right? So while Hertz.com website has all of those information available, it can be daunting to navigate and find the right information I need. So what we are trying to do today is just solve that. We'll add a little chatbot right here. So when the visitor navigate the website, if they want, they can engage with the bot, and the bot will help them navigate the website. And as they engage with the bot, we'll make sure to capture the visitor lead and feed my CRM in the backend for lead orchestration. With no further ado, let's go to the app. So when you log in into Power Virtual Agent, you get into the homepage here. So granted here, a couple of recent bots, but the most important thing is right there, you will find plenty of learning resources to help you get it started, from videos, documentation, and we'll even have like very detailed learning path, right? So when you create a bot, just go to create, and then you get two options, right? You get pick up the canvas, which if you remember, the canvas that we've had. And then here is the new unified canvas that is truly, truly low code and pro code. Now, it takes between 30 seconds and 5 minutes to kind of spin up a bot. So for the purpose of today, the bot has already been created, but that's it. There is nothing in the bot, right? So let's open the bot and then start working with the bot. When you get into the bot, you'll get the menu here. We'll get into the detail. But what is important too is you get a test bot window, right? So this is really to test your bot. So then when we deploy later in Teams or whatever, it would look like Teams, but right here, I can test and orchestrate the chat. The first thing you do typically when you get started with the bot is change the welcome topic. So if you remember the topic level 1 and level 2, they are there, right? The way they work is, let's take greeting topics. When I get into greeting topics, I have bunch of trigger phrases. Good afternoon, good morning, hello, hi. And then from there, if the bot detect phrases, detect a trigger topic, detect a trigger phrases that look like that, he's going to respond with that message, right? But it doesn't have to be exactly that message. That's where conversational AI magic happen, right? Now, that's custom topics. So these are, when we'll create one later, but these are for us to build, right? The bots also come with system topic. Example, every time you start a new session, pick up the conversion start topic. So this is the topic we are seeing right here. Hello, I'm Hearst GPT. How can I help? So let's drill down into that topic. And then it's okay. That topic triggered on conversation start. I get a message. Hello, I am. Bot name is just the variable name. Is just the variable that carries the bot name. How can I help you? So this is great, but every time I launch a session, it kind of look a little bit robotic. So what we want when you do bot authoring is kind of bring the same concept, bring the same intent, but with some variation. So for that, I'm going to bring my friend Copilot. I'm selecting that particular node within that particular topic, and I'm going to say add four variations. So we're calling OpenAI in the backend and so on, and then coming back with, okay, now I have, okay, that's the first one I had. Hello, I am Anna. How can I help? That one is generated. Hey, what can I do for you? Greetings. Hey, oh, that one is a duplicate. Looks like it. I don't want to duplicate. What can I do for you? Okay, this is great. I'm just gonna make them longer, funny, and silly. Oh, great. Perfect. Oh, I'm here to make your day brighter. What can I do for you? I'm here to make your day a little bit more silly. What can I do for you? Okay, it sounds great. I like it. I'm going to save that topic. So right there, it used to take hours. I mean, just like between connecting the developer, connecting with someone who can generate these sentences, and now right there, just in a matter of less than a minute, I was able to just customize how the bot will engage with me at first. Let's give it a try. Greetings, I'm Here's GTP. I'm here to help you. What can I do for you today? All right, perfect. Now, my bot is not connected, has no clue about the website or whatsoever, right? If I say, let's pretend I'm on the Hertz website and I say, well, I say, hey, do you have any promo going on? And we keep getting T0 because the bot doesn't know what to do. So that's where we're not going to author a topic for that. We're going to go level 3, GPT, and we're going to boost the bot. The way it happens is in settings, we have all of those AI capabilities, starting with boosting conversational coverage. I'm going to say, right, I'm going to boost this conversation. And for that, I'm going to use hertz.com. What is going to do is think of it a little bit like Bing. What the bot is going to do is going to look at all the information that are publicly available on this website and then use that to frame answer when it doesn't find a topic 1 or 2 to answer. Now, there is security built into it. There is security built into it in the sense that you can moderate how the bot responds to the user. So by default, Power Virtual Agent come with high content of moderation. Medium, bot generate more answer, but response may be less relevant. And then low, bot generates the most answer, but responses can have inaccuracy. So for the purpose of today, I'm going to go with medium. I'm going to save it. and we're going to start asking questions to the bot. All right, so I'm navigating on webs. I'm a customer navigating on hertz.com, and I'm engaging with the bot. We are looking to rent a car for 4 person. What type of card should we get? Ah, ooh, thanks. Live demo. We have a variety of vehicles that can accommodate 4 passengers. You can check out our Hertz vehicle guide for more information. And again, we are providing all the reference link for the response that has been summarized to the user. So if you play with it, you'll find mistakes, right? You'll find mistakes, and that's where the bot content moderation come in play, right? But the point being is we always provide reference link to where we found that information. Now, great. Do you have any promotion going on? We do have some promotion going on. Check out these links for more information. And then right there on hertz.com, rental deals, AAA deals, and so on, coupons deals, right? We didn't make up any information. These are just information that are there on the website, but we are just helping the user finding the information. We can get a little bit more silly as well, kind of playing fun with the GPT model, right? Why should I rent from Hertz? With a poem, please. Well, the open roads await, a journey of fun and fate. Rent a car from Hertz and explore the world with no regrets. When you get to log in, I really encourage you to play and test a lot this type of features. So it'll give you a grasp on when you ask questions, what you can get, the mistake you can get, and make an opinion for yourself. It is very important to, I would say, I don't like to say, but break the bot, break the GPT to make sure that you're pushing the line because your visitor will. Let's come up with a more challenging question. I'm a frustrated customer. I am not happy with my rental. The passenger seatbelt is broken. What should I do? I apologize for the inconvenience. Please contact the air's location, blah, blah, blah. But what is key here? There is emotion built in a bot. Like, the bot to an extent is representing the website. And first we have empathy, represent empathy for the user. And then from there, address the question. Last question. See what we get. How do I contact the support team? There are information on the website how to contact the support team. Great. You can contact the support team by submitting your question to your support team here. So let's click on it. Oh, here we go. So we click on the first link, and then from there, the bot is sending me to a form that he found on the website, right? So then at this point, I can go on the website and enter my name, first name, last name, and so on. But the point here, would it not be great when I'm asking the bot, how do I contact support team, that the bot just engage with me and then basically essentially collect this form and then feed it into marketing. So as a user, I don't have to go back and forth. So that's where topics come in play. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to level 2 in my topic, and then we're going to create a topic to capture the form that is right there. So a couple of notes on the form. We'll see that we have first name, last name, and they are all mandatory, but the phone number is optional. So we're going to take that into consideration as well when we build the bot. For that, I'm going to call my friend Copilot. And literally, I'm going to tell him what to do. And if you play with prompting, sometimes it is amazingly surprising. The simpler it is, the better your answer are. So here we're going to ask Copilot, let a user submit a request to the support team. Have the user enter his first name, last name, email, country of residence, then the request. Remember, that's the form. Now, here comes the phone number. That's optional. Ask if we if we can contact the user by phone, and if yes, collect the phone number information. Finally, thanks the user for contacting us, and we are contacting support on their behalf. Make sure to include summary of the user request. Just not going to create it and see what Copilot came back as a topic for me. Here we go. So he came up with trigger phrases, example of 10 trigger phrases. And then from there, starting me, what is your name? Great. What is your last name? Your email address? What is your country of residence? What is your detailed request? Can we contact you by phone? Here we go. He picked it up. Yes or no. So if it's a no, do nothing. If it's a yes, oh yeah, you see there? He didn't pick that one. It's a mistake. So if can we contact you by phone? Yes. If it's yes, I'm going to say yes. If it's yes, then ask for the phone number. And at the end, thank you. I'm going to save it. And we're going to ask the same question. See if the topic trigger. See if our topic we just created is about to trump the GPT boosting. There we go. Now we are in the topic that Copilot just created. So what is your name? Nico. What is your last name? Sprody. What is your email address? Oh, that's a good one. I'm just going to do something random. And now the bot is kind of kicking me back. Why is that? Because the bot, when he has created the question for the email address, he said, what is your email? And then he knows, and I didn't talk about entities here. If you play with the bot, I would recommend you to dig into entities. But basically what it is we are capturing the variable email, and the bot knows it is an email address. So I need to put ns@ms.com, and voila. Country of residence, what is your request? Seatbelt broken. Pretty good. Like in less than, can we contact you by phone? No. Thank you for contacting us. And then here's the summary. Pretty good. There is one thing I think I saw I'm not happy is how do I contact the support team? And then straight away, he asked me for my name. Typically, when you build conversational AI, it's good practice to reflect on what the question is, and then after that, start going. So just for the purpose here, I'm just going to add a message just to acknowledge that I understood. I will be happy to help you contact our support team. Great. Again, add 5 variations. Update. Now, again, just help me add variation so it doesn't sound too robotic per se. And I'm going to save the topic. Great. Let's ask the question again. Oh. Oh, he did not pick it up. Did I save it? Maybe not.
No, it picked it up, Nico. It's there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Rob. So at this point, I am at this point, I have boosted the bot and I've created a topic to stay. I created a topic to capture the user information. What I will do now to when I'm done capturing the user info, what I'll do at the end here is just add something that the user would not see, but just add think of it as a Power Automate flow, like we've talked earlier, with call and action, and then we will be able to just create a flow to plug all of those user data into whatever CRM leads table you may have. I mean, it's like 3-4 steps, right? So voila, I'm happy with my bot. Now I need to publish it. So to do so, I have options, right? Like I said earlier, we can go in Teams or Facebook and so on. Now, for the purpose of today, we're just going to do a demo website. Call it like a prototype. So just to set up the prototype website per se, I'm just going to put a message and just copy and paste all the questions that we've been putting in the we've been working with today. The thing is, if you want to build a bot for yourself, the key here is that helps you share that with colleagues, that helps you share that with anyone within your organization to kind of let them test, play with the bot before you actually publish the bot. Right? Save it. Okay, and now I'm gonna publish my bot. Yep. He did not. Let me go see. Oh. So did not publish. Unfortunately, I cannot show the.
Try again, Nico. Sometimes there's a glitch on the error when you just created a topic. Don't worry.
Oh. Yeah. Anyhow. Hey, that's disappointing right here. Let me just delete that thing. Save it. We try one more time, and if it doesn't, we'll send you the link after the meeting. Okay, let me publish it. Oh, magnifique. Okay. Voila, try out the chatbot we made during Power Platform Collaboratorium. And then so here, if you want to send the chatbot, here are a couple of, again, the phrases that we've been playing with. We are looking to rent a car for 4 person. What type of car should we get? Gonna put the link in the chat. Voila, so everyone can play with the bot we just built together. That's the end of today. Jeff, happy to address any question, my man.
Great job, Nico. Yeah, that's awesome stuff. So I've got a couple of links up on the screen right now that you guys are welcome to copy down. I know they are vanity URLs, and if you don't want to copy them down or screenshot anything, that's quite all right. Again, I'm going to be sending out a link to not only the recording from today, but to Nico's presentation, which of course will include this slide as well. We encourage you to go out there and with that first link on the left, try PVA, Power Virtual Agents. Play around with it. You'll have through preview, you'll have the opportunity to play with some of the features and functionality that you saw today, and really see how easy it is to create a chat bot with GPT reasoning behind it using generative AI. We've had a few questions in the in the chat that I think we've been able to answer in real time for you, Nico. But everybody has the ability to come off of mute if you feel like it. Ask some questions, and if we can address them now, we'd be happy to. If not, we're certainly happy to schedule some follow-up conversation and go a little bit deeper on your specific use cases.
Hey, this is Raj here. I got a quick question. I posted in the chat, but I'd like more clarity there. So if we have the capability with GPT to point it to a website, and I think it can also in the future point to a SharePoint library for internal knowledge base. If we have the capability, what's the reason for FAQ topics?
Yeah, so similar so for using that stage 2 set of topics, similar to what Nico shared, in stage 1, it was when he asked the question, how do I contact support? It essentially just sent him to a link to another website where he could fill out the form. The idea of driving the user down a specific topic within stage 2 is really to drive that user experience. So Nico didn't set it up there, but he could have built an adaptive card as well, and that can be created using Copilot. So an adaptive card could basically just bring that form directly into the chat itself, where the chat bot is asking and completing the form on behalf of the user, rather than sending the user to another link to complete them for themselves. So that's just one example, but the idea is really to drive the user experience a little bit better and to kind of refine the answers that it's providing.
That helps. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Will you be ever showing a demonstration of this fabulous thing you just mentioned about having Copilot build adaptive cards?
Yeah, I see your reaction there, Thomas. We could certainly set up a follow-up conversation with you and show off adaptive cards working within Copilot. It's pretty great. The nice thing is it's literally filling out the JSON for you, and you can open up the JSON and edit things as you see fit, and even follow up your conversation with Copilot to get it to modify what it's already created.
Mm-hmm. And then can just one follow-up question. I'm not trying to eat up the oxygen, but I do have this issue with our internal stuff that we've been working on here at PG&E. But can Copilot, the adaptive card it creates, also be used in an email instead of just in a chat? Can Copilot create email adaptive cards or active forms or whatever they're called?
Yeah, that's a good question. I might pause for a second and lean on some of my peers if they might have an immediate answer. I know the fact that you are creating the JSON within the Power Virtual Agent using Copilot means you could just copy and paste that elsewhere. There might be some extra work to do on it. I don't know, Remy or Chris or anybody else on the team, if you might have an alternative answer to that.
Yeah, I've played with creating adaptive card, but for that I used the Power Automate flow to call the GPT model, and GPT models, they have a very good understanding at adaptive card. So you can call a flow, ask the flow with a prompt to create whatever text content and format it into an adaptive card format where you can give instruction of what you want to see in that adaptive card, and then use the return of that flow to send it via email to a customer or a user, any kind of user.
Great.
The really good at creating JSON and adaptive cards by extension because it's based on JSON. So yeah, once you connect your PVA with Power Automate, the possibilities are endless.
Okay, great. We already have ours connected, doing all sorts of SAP account unlocks, and also a couple of managing distribution lists. And we have a couple of other RPAs that are coming out this year as well with our chatbot that we call Peggy. So great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alan, do you have a question? I just saw your hand go up.
Yeah, this is more a business question. I have internal and external users. I want to join in a chat, or no, I want to build a tool. Basically, that will help internal and external users, meaning people, contacts, CRM contacts that not necessarily have access to all the records, all the opportunities or contacts or beats, or I mean all sort of records that are sensitive, right? So how the security roles play in when you want to be able for external users to reach those records, for example, and internal as well, right? I mean, if you have a business unit user that do not have access to other business units or higher up records or roll-ups, sales amounts, roll-ups, how this will play out, basically.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a great question. I'm gonna stop real quick. Is Chris still on? We were having a conversation around security this morning, so he might be already well suited and fresh on the top of the mind to answer it. Otherwise, I can address it.
I also want to ask a follow-up question. Is it in the context of authenticated users using the bots?
Yes.
And that's where I was going to go with it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if a user is authenticated on the bot, then it will inherit all the permission from his role, and by extension, restrict his role to only see or access the document his role allows him to.
Yeah, that's essentially exactly right. So it'll allow him to act based on the authentication role and what he's already got access to, what data sources he's got access to read. The bot will respond appropriately with what his permissions are set to. If it's an external user that's trying to ask questions about a opportunity in your CRM system, it's just simply not going to provide any context or answer in relation to that record or any record for that matter.
Okay, thank you.
Thomas, another question?
Yeah, just on what you just said there around that security thing. Is there links to that documentation about the way you said that it won't give access? I'm dealing with cybersecurity right now, and they're asking all these questions, and that
we can
that nugget right there. How many nuggets on?
Yeah, sure. It's basically it's going to call the Graph API in the back to filter what the user can access to based on his role. We can send you more documentation on that.
Okay, yeah, if you would please, because I need to give them some stuff so we can move on. Get past cyber so we can get to the real fun stuff. Not that cyber's not fun for the cyber people on the call.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right, everybody. I appreciate you staying on a little extra. Again, just a reminder that for the remainder of y'all that are still on the call, if you have not had an opportunity to complete some of the poll questions or all the poll questions in the chat, please feel free to do so. Again, a lot of the content that we put out is driven by what you guys want to see. So the more that we know, the better these will get. And then lastly, I'll be consolidating the recording and the presentation that Nico shared today, along with these links and a few other links. And Thomas will get the security links together for you as well. And I'll be sending an email out to not only those that attended, but to those that registered. Feel free to distribute that to anybody that wasn't able to attend and still has interest. And then lastly, I'll end it with just a reminder about the collaboratorium session that's going to be on Thursday, May 25th. We're going to be covering PCF which is the Power Apps control framework. So it'll be a little bit more technical. We're going to dive into Visual Studio Code and kind of get our hands a little dirty. So hope to see everybody there. Thanks again.
Thank you.